Hey, I'm Liam, aka Grey Rose, and welcome back to the Road to the Hall of Fame. Um, we'll, I had recorded me attempting to solve this one already, which I will upload because it's basically me just getting very tilted that the solution that is definitely and should definitely work is not working. So we'll see if we'll see if we can solve it again this time. I think the submit was bugged. Is my working theory. I know excuses, but hopefully we can now solve this one really quickly, and then I'll show you all the different ones. So, document dot forms 0 dot submit. I'm going to use a set timeout here as well. Set timeout. Like that. Set it to 300 milliseconds because the page should have loaded by then. Then we'll do close the script, grab that, submit that, and then warp drive engaged. So hopefully this now works. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to move on, and we'll come back and solve this one later. Yeah, so this does work. The set timeout. Well, it should work. 1 second, let me just prove this quickly. Again. Yeah. So that should work. We can try it once more with a slightly higher timeout. Let's just end here. Let's set this to 1,000. This will fail again. I don't know why this isn't working. I'll go complain to the site owner. But there's a bonus half an hour of me figuring out all the different payloads we can do here and all the different ones that should work. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem to be behaving itself today. So instead, we're going to leave that one for the time being. Wait for it. I'll notify Padge and we'll see if we can get this. So this is going to be another capture the flag here. So let's just do test here. Test expect. Input type hidden, name flag value equals that. Let's see if we can object test there. We can. Can I get scripts in here? We can get scripts in there. So let's see if I can just do set timeout, similar to the one we did did just before. We'll declare ourselves a little kind of anonymous function here. We'll set the timeout to, I don't know, 1,000. That normally works quite well. And then in here, we're just going to go we're going to go fetch. We're going to grab our, we actually just that quickly, get back here. Paste that in there, grab here, my labs, open link, payload hosting, copy the link address, go back here as well. So then we're going to fetch this, but we're going to add to it. So that's there, and then just plus. Let me deep this for a second. And so it's going to be the first input. We're going to go document get element by tag name 1 input 1 dot value. When we submit this, we should have our log here. We submit. Hopefully that doesn't error horribly. Oh, there is additional. So you're no longer allowed default source self, image source there, style source unsafe inline. Okay. So executing inline script violates the content security policy default source self. Either needs the unsafe inline. Either the unsafe inline include a hash or a nonce is required to enable inline execution. It's just a default source. This action has been blocked, so we can't violate that very easily. So let's go back one to here. Hello. Is there an image I can use? Image source, is that okay? So yeah, what we can do now is so we're still not allowed to use, so what we do instead is we actually use image source equals, then grab our URL from here, and we just do it slightly differently. So what we should be able to do is maybe if we do that. No. Yeah, that should bloody work. So remove that, and then this, and then do that. Input type equals hidden, flag is, yeah, okay, so that's just cutting it off there. So what we want to do now is we want to just put this single quote, and hopefully, oh, it's still stripping that, damn. How would we do that? There we go. That'll now have posted that back off to our site. We should now see that there you go. So you can, this isn't kind of script, it's kind of cross-site scripting, it's kind of not cross-site scripting. It's kind of one of those. But we can now send this to our thing. We'll wait here, and then you can see that the value is this. So we'll submit that to our flag cookie, and hopefully that will be successfully solved. Right, cool. So again, this is kind of an interesting one where you instead of you kind of bypass this, or you leverage the fact that they're allowed image sources to kind of a subdomain to exfiltrate data. Again, this is largely, so you can see here. This one, yeah. You see where this is reflected here? It's actually just image source, and then it's going all the way up to there. Then flag value because that input type was hidden, and then because this has double quotes around it. So this one doesn't have double quotes. This one does have double quotes. If you have a look in here, you'll probably see, like if I was just to do this, you can see that they put double quotes around it, but that's not actually double quotes. That's not what the server's returning. That's what the browser is kind of generating in the DOM. So if you had a look in here, for example, you'd see that these aren't quoted, but this one is. So you can then use that to exfiltrate your data, which is, to be honest, quite cool. Quite cool. So moving on to our next one, dangling markup 2. Let's see if we, so there's going to be something even more fun, I'm sure. Let's do test, test, hello test. Let's go back here. So again, we've got our image source, but we can see this time now we've these are quoted. So I think what we were trying last time might actually work here. So if we try image source equals, and then we're going to go grab his, oh, bloody hell, my friend, grab this one, copy link address, dangling markup 2. Let's do single quote, and then that, and then that, and then that should then load that all in there. Because you see in, you see that there, that's got the on click there. So that should then load my image source. If I were to go to here, you can see that, yeah, the value of that is sent there. So then, of course, when we grab this, we can now, actually, let's just see. Yeah, cool. Let's just do this instead. So let's send this to the poor person. That'll then do that, and then we're just going to grab this value here, grab that, submit that to our thing, and again, I'll just quickly show you why that's worked. Because, yeah, 1 second. So we do that, and then in here, let me just grab this. So you can see here that we're effectively, because we can inject something here, we can then go all the way down to that single quote by just adding our own single quote, and when the browser's parsing it, it will recognize that. Because you are allowed to mix quote types. So like if a single quote starts something, it takes another single quote to terminate it, as opposed to being allowed to use like a single quote to start something and double quote to end it. It means you're allowed to like use the two of them together, which is quite handy when you need to use both kind of inside strings of one another. But anyway, I digress. Oh well, 11 minutes, cool. Unlinked. Oh god. The vulnerable functionality is not linked. This is another one where I think actually solving this took me quite a while the first time. But because I was being silly, so we've seen one from for a couple of while ago. Let me have a think. So we're going to use something called Ferox Buster. Just keep that. Let's see. You can tell I was doing a lab earlier. So we're going to do -u. Grab this selection like that. So and then we're going to do standard word list and then -x for extension. Is that X for extension? I think XFTL. Oh no, so that's not the right one. Which one's the Ferox? Because we're using FTL templates. Remark templates.ftl. You have to remember to add that. So health extension -x. Sorry, lowercase x. XFTL, and we've got test.ftl. There you go. But let's do /test.ftl. And it's erroring, it's saying it needs a name. So if we press it, name equals image source equals x, on error equals alert document.cookie. We can then bang, do that. Bosh. Should then, I'll have to do that nice, and that should then hopefully just solve. If this doesn't solve, then, oh, thank God. Oh, I thought it was going to go the same way as the other one then. It's going to be really upset. So that's how you do unlinked nice and easily. Open redirection. I think this is one, yeah, this is the one I've done. So I think I remember how this works. We'll find out. Open redirection is not the issue. So this is a very simple one. Again, we should just be able to do this. Of course, naturally, we haven't. So let's do, yeah, function tracking search. If search.index of https equals -1, so basically if it's not got https:// in the string, then append that to the start, and then It'll grab that tracking search term, and then location.href equals search, if it's all possible. So what we're going to do here instead is this is actually a bypass that you do get on like real sites. Like I have seen this in the wild, where they're checking whether the string's present in there, but not whether it starts with the string. So it needs to be doing, the first 8 characters or whatever it is need to be this, or 7 or 8 characters need to be this. Otherwise, you can just do this, and yeah, as you can see, it'll execute. So we're going to do JavaScript alert document.cookie. That's going to fire there, nice and simple. Grab that, fire it off. We'll have time for one more. Ooh, exciting. Length limit. Oh, this is another length limit one. Okay. Again by me. Use the form to perform a search. There is a length limit of 5 characters. Let's have a quick look. Let's just get rid of that. Go here, test, and view page source. If anyone's ever played Hearthstone, I hope you get the reference there. It's a secret. Ooh. So we've got our tracking function, search and secret. And then we've got this purify secret here. So we're going to purify the secret. So only 5 characters. Purify secrets there. Document guideline tracker first.innerchild equals cleans, which is this purify, and then we should have /sanitization.js and clean or cleanse, or purifies here. For x in tags, if e.to lowercase.include tags x, return that. You can see that the tags are all there as well. Now, what we would do is we'd write a script to iterate through each of those and see which ones aren't being stripped. I'm going to cut to the chase here, because this is just a payload that you should write down. But you are allowed markup inside SVG tags. So if I just go to where's my SVG? Where is my SVG? There you go. So there's an attribute called animate transform within SVGs. So in here we're going to do search for test, and then secret. It's going to be animate transform begin alert 1 attribute should. Oh, search equals SVG, and then that then fires your alert 1, and then there you go. This was just to make it like slightly harder and force you to actually read the client-side JavaScript. In reality, if they're allowing SVGs in, which again you see it blocked less often than perhaps you'd like, you can then use animate transform, because it's less likely to be signatured or to be blocked. It's a less well-known payload. Yay. And I think that's going to be it for yeah, that'll be it for now. Lovely. Well, thank you very much. We'll come back to unauthorized action again. If you want to go and watch the kind of 8.5, it's half an hour of me getting really tilted, trying to figure out why this payload that I know should work isn't working. Turns out it's just a bit broken. So I'll raise that with Padge, and we'll get that all sorted. He does have a solution video, as I said, that you can go and watch as well if you want. And because eventually we'll come back to that one. Hopefully we can solve that one, and that'll be the one that gets us on the leaderboard. And we'll see if we can make it up to that. We're currently on 67 points. Join me next time. We've got 6 apprentice labs left, and then we're on to adept labs. At which point we should have enough adept labs to get us there. I think adept give 5 points, so we might actually need to solve some of these expert labs, which should be fun, which will take a little bit longer, I think. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.